Welcome back to Nostalgianomics. We're live. We have not been live, just you and I, one-on-one, in quite some time. I know we've had some pack breaks, we've had some lives with guests, but it's been a while since I've just hopped on here all alone in the middle of the day on a Thursday, and we just talk this thing out together. You know, I'll take some questions. You know, we can just talk through this wild and crazy market together, because at the end of the day, guys, I'm just one person with one person's thoughts or beliefs on things, you know, and every other YouTuber out there is just one person as well. And everyone's going to have their own opinions, and they're going to, you know, make their own plays in the market, and they're going to make their own content based on the way they see things. But at the end of the day, we're all just single people. And, you know, a lot of your guys' thoughts in the comments could be just as legitimate as my thoughts. And, you know, one of us is going to be right, one of us is going to be wrong. But, you know, it's really strange that no matter what market we find ourselves in this hobby, everyone always wants to find an enemy, right? And, you know, it's the same thing in real life, right? Like, same thing with politics or, you know, sports or, you know, your job, anything in life. You know, everyone's always wants to find an enemy. There's got to be one side versus the other side. And the funny part is, just like kind of in real life, you know who the real enemy is? It's the people at the top. If you want to really, you know, point out an enemy, it's Pokemon. The Pokemon company is your enemy. It's not your neighbor. It's not the guy who collects or the guy who invests or the guy who buys and sells and flips and the card shop owners. They're not your enemies. Pokemon is the enemy. They're the company that created this madness. They're the ones that have done millions and millions of dollars in marketing. They've paid off tons of different content creators to push their products and open their products and get you more and more addicted to it. They're the ones that print a set amount of it. They're the ones that distribute it. They are the ones that set the price of it. They're the ones that do all this. Okay, so everyone else is just kind of a cog in the machine of this machine that Pokemon Company built. And to get upset at people for finding opportunities with the products that this company put out, because some of the products are more scarce than others, some are more popular and more sought after than others, it's truly mind-blowing. And then the audacity for people out there to think they're so entitled. They're so entitled that everything should be geared at whatever income level each individual person is at. Guys, newsflash, life's not fair. Everyone on this entire planet is sitting at a different income level depending on what country you're in, right? And so this idea that, well, Pokemon should make the cards affordable for everyone. Who's everyone? Is it affordable for someone, some, you know, tribe in Africa that doesn't even use fiat currency? Is it affordable for them? Is it affordable for a third world country? Is it affordable for, I don't know, like a high school student that doesn't even have a job? Like, who are we talking about? Is it affordable to? Is it affordable for someone who's, you know, single and has a good job? Is it affordable for someone who decided to go out and have 4, 5, 6 kids and both the husband and wife have, you know, mediocre jobs, or one doesn't work? Like, is it affordable for that family? Maybe it's affordable for another family who only has a single kid or an only child. Like, and this is the idea. It's just like everyone uses these broad terms as things should be affordable. What does that mean? What is affordable? I mean, I know everyone I know can buy a pack of Pokemon cards, and if they're kids, they can buy some packs for their kids. Then it becomes, you know, how much is enough? Do you think they should be affordable enough to buy, you know, kids should be able to buy, you know, hundreds of packs or 10, 20, 50 packs? I know when I grew up, I used to get a couple packs every, I don't know, week, 2 weeks. I never got that much. It was affordable. I mean, I think packs are still affordable to be able to buy, you know, a couple packs a week for a kid. And so this whole idea of us creating enemies out of each other because some people are buying it to sell online to make some extra money for their family so they can have more money for their kids, or to, you know, provide a good Christmas, or to, you know, make more income because they don't have a good enough job, whatever it may be, or get upset at card shops because they're selling at a profit finally, is wacky behavior, guys. And the true enemy, if you want to create one, go look at Pokemon. It's kind of like, you know, in this country, the true enemy, go look at the tops, go look at the government, go look at the corporations, go look at the people who set the prices and set the policies, right? It's not your local small business that has to charge a lot of money because they're getting a hit with, all kind of taxes and regulations and, this and that. And I think if more of us like stepped back and realized that, we'd be less at each other's throats. Every single video I post, I get hate for some reason or another, right? Or, it's all the evil investors' fault. These scalpers out there, these store owners, they're all buying it up. It's like, guys, the product is made to be bought. And just because other people buy it for different reasons than you may, it doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong, right? If I buy product to keep sealed, it doesn't make it any more legitimate than you buying product to open it, or someone else buying product to play with the cards, or someone else buying product to grade the cards and put them in a display, or someone else is displaying their sealed product, or someone else trying to buy and sell for financial gain. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of those options. It's just people feel holier than thou, and they come up with, whatever reason they want to justify it in their head, and they say things like, the cards are meant to be opened and played with. Says who? Says who? Because it's called a trading card game. So maybe they're meant to be traded. Maybe they're meant to be collected. You got to catch them all. But where is it that they're supposed to be always played with? Where does it say everything's supposed to be opened? Right? I mean, isn't it collectible? Aren't collectibles like mostly valued sealed? Isn't that why sealed video games and other sealed products are very valuable, sealed toys, right? Maybe everything isn't valued or isn't meant for the same reasons that you mean them for. And to get upset at other people because they're wanting to enjoy the things or, experience the hobby in a different way than you do, it's bananas. And you really probably should look in the mirror and realize maybe it's not everyone else's is the problem. Maybe you're the problem, right? And also, if the hobby is getting too expensive for you and you're an adult, well, be an adult then and realize it's not for you. Realize you shouldn't be doing this thing if you cannot afford it, right? I wouldn't go to the golf course every day and golf because I can't afford that. I can't afford to pay a country club membership. I can't afford to play $50, $70 a round every single day, buy balls, buy clubs as I need them, all those other things, have to buy lunch and drinks while you're there, all that stuff. Like, I wouldn't go to the golf course every single day, right? I mean, you can walk in any Target, Walmart, any toy shop, and there's tons of toys that not everyone can afford. Maybe everyone can't afford a mini, Lamborghini little toy that their kids can drive around because it's hundreds of dollars. Hey, maybe you got to get the cheaper basketball hoop because the official NBA basketball hoop is $1,000. Well, we can't afford that. It should be cheaper. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't, right? Because some people can't afford that. They're willing to pay that. They found enough people are willing to pay a certain price. So that's where it's priced. If enough people aren't willing to pay that, they'll lower the price. And to get upset that your personal circumstance doesn't afford it and upset that others can, it's kind of a ridiculous notion to be in. It really is. Because here's the funny part. Most all of these sets right now in Scarlet Violet era, other than a handful of cards, they're all very affordable. Other than a few of the top cards, almost every card in every set is like $5, $10. 95% of the cards are $5, $10 or less, which is basically affordable by almost anyone. But guess what? You don't want those cards. Why not? Well, because they're cheap. You want the expensive card. You want the Bubble Mew. You want the Greninja. You want the Pikachu. Why? Why? Because you just love the art so much? No, don't fool yourself. You want it because it's valuable. So now people want things to be valuable. Well, for things to be valuable, the method of getting those things has to have at least some sort of expense or cost. If it's all really cheap, then the things inside it won't be valuable. And so then we get in that whole thing of, well, I'm noble. I would collect Pokemon cards even if they were worthless. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You know why? Because the hobby was all but dead all through the early 2000s and mid 2000s when everyone left the hobby back in 2001, 2002 and didn't return in 2015, 2016. Where were you back then when everything was dirt cheap? Where were you? I don't know. No one wanted it then. No one wanted to buy it because it was cheap. Then when everything started to become expensive again, now everybody wants it. You see, when you start to break down like the constructs we make in our mind of why we do certain things, you'll start getting less angry at people. And you'll be less angry that this person's making money here or this person's product rose in value because they bought it when it was low and no one wanted it and now people do want it. And, you get less upset at people that built up businesses and built up relationships and spent hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars with distributors. And now they're able to get allocations and buy products at distribution pricing and make money right when the set's released, like Surging Sparks, like Prismatic Evolutions. You'll get less mad at that. That's like getting upset that, Walmart buys stuff from the suppliers and they sell it to you at a profit. Why are we not all with pitchforks at Walmart or your local grocery store or any of your local stores? Guess what? They're all doing the same thing in different industries. They're buying at the supplier cost. They're selling to you at retail. They're making a margin. Some products have better margins than others. Sometimes things are hotter than others. This is life. And the faster we can get through, everyone get that through their heads, maybe we can stop creating enemies in our own hobby where we're all supposed to be combined and start being happy for everyone and congratulate people. Guess what? I can't afford literally every single item in this hobby, right? But guess what? If someone sent me a picture and said, Alex, I just picked up this PSA 910 Pikachu Illustrator. I just got this PSA 10 First Edition Charizard. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be happy for that person. I'm gonna congratulate them. It's a huge move, right? That's a huge, step in their life. It's like a huge, grail that they've always wanted. Why would you make them feel bad about that, right? Same thing if your neighbor comes home with a brand new car that maybe you can't afford, or a friend of yours buys this brand new house that you can't afford. Are you going to be unhappy for them? Are you going to create reasons on why, they shouldn't even make houses that big. They shouldn't even make cars that expensive, whatever it may be. No, you congratulate them. You're happy for them. You're happy for their success. Doesn't mean you shouldn't keep, working at your own success and trying to get further ahead yourself, but don't be unhappy that other people are successful, right? There's tons of people in this hobby that are so much more successful than me. And guess what? I congratulate them every step of the way. I mean, I have a bi-weekly podcast I have with Pokey Plumber. The dude's got enormously larger collection than me, more value in his collection than I do. Every time he picks something up, do I congratulate him? Do I say, oh man, you don't need that. Oh, that's crap. Oh, that's, or all that stuff's going to go to zero. No. Or, if I talk to Pokey NE, the dude's got I don't even know, 5x the size business that I do, right? Am I going to be unhappy for him as he's selling out a Terrestrial Festival every single shipment he gets and he's making tens of thousands of dollars? Why would I be mad at that? That's a win. Congratulations. A win for the hobby. It's a win for Pokemon business in general. It shows other people it's possible. It's great. Be happy for people, guys. Don't try to tear people down because of your own, shortcomings. That's, the biggest thing I can say as we continue to tread, further into this kind of market, because the more and more expensive things get and the more out of reach they get for more and more people, you're going to see more and more of that anger. I have people in my videos, commenting things, always always preying on the downfall of things, preying on the crash, you're going to have to go get a real job again, or, why don't you go get a job instead of, trying to scalp people out on these Pokemon cards. They're supposed to be for kids. And, it's just all this anger is swelling up and it's not good. Here, look, I get it. If you got to get it out, come to my videos, get it out. But I'm looking out for you. It's not good for you to hold all that anger and resentment over a hobby that you don't even need to be involved in. You don't need to buy Pokemon cards, right? You don't need to spend your money here, right? You don't need to spend your time here. You don't need to watch this kind of content if it gets you that amped up and upset and angry at the world, right? Unplug, go outside, touch some grass, be happy. Go spend your money on things you can't afford that are going to bring you more happiness. If you're spending your money, your disposable income, on something that is not even a necessity and it's not bringing you joy, you're spending money on entertainment that is not bringing you joy, it's bringing you more upset and more anger and pain, stop. Just stop doing it. And to everyone else that is doing well, congratulations, everyone's doing well in the hobby. Look, it wasn't too long ago where, if you guys weren't here, 2021 ended and the pandemic, and Logan Paul stopped making videos about Pokemon, and, we stopped getting the free, money checks from the government and all those things, and demand fell off. And Pokemon started to print more and more things, and we started to see prices drop like never before, 30, 50, 70% drops. And, all the negative people, they all felt like they won. They were mocking everybody in the Discords and the Reddits and the comment sections. And Nobody wanted the product at that point, right? It was all dirt cheap, couldn't sell it, very illiquid. And people were buying it. There were still people buying, and they were putting it away. And they were buying battle styles when stores were trying to just get rid of it for any price that they could. And people were buying it and putting it away. And Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign and all these sets and all these cards. And, no one had a problem with it then. No one had a problem with it in 2022 or 2023. And now all of a sudden, you have all those sets that nobody wanted and all those cards that nobody wanted all rising, going to the moon. And now everyone's got a problem with it. How can the same item, depending on the year and the market condition, be the driving force of no one caring or everyone being at each other's throats and hating each other over? That's how you know it all has to do with the value. That's how you know even the haters all care about the value, because when it didn't have value, the haters weren't there. When it does have value, they all come back, they get their pitchforks, they get their torches, and they want to burn anyone down who owns those things, because those people are making money. And so, guys, I urge you, if this hobby is the source of anger and resentment and just upsetting you, stop, just leave. Take a step away. Stop spending your money on it. Save your money. Pay bills. Buy other things that make you happy. Do other things that make you have fun and entertain you. Watch other content. Go watch some TV shows or some Netflix. Like, just get away from this hobby and come back when you can approach it in a better way. And the other thing I want to talk about before we jump into some questions is for everyone else that is here, that is, feeling more anxious these days. Everyone that did make the plays, that did put their money to work. I've been getting a lot more messages, emails, comments, people feeling more anxious about selling and worried more about selling, right? Obviously, everyone's always worried about getting scammed and, getting cheated out of their money when they sell. And they're worried about holding their product as it rises more and more and more. They want to take profits. They want to reduce their risk. Understand all those things. And then even people that are, kind of newer to the hobby, they're asking me about selling and, Alex, my products are up in value, but I was looking into eBay and TCG Player. And if I sell now and I have to ship and pay fees, I'm not gonna make any money. Like my box went from 120 to 150. I want to make some money, but I'm not gonna make any if I sell it. Be like, no, you're not. This hobby's never been a thing where you can try to flip sealed product within, a few months and make a bunch of money. It's never been a thing. If you want to do that, go buy collections and flip singles, go grade cards and flip graded cards, go get into a bulk operation. If you can go, you can try to get a distributor or a supplier in Japan and get Japanese or English product and try to sell, at retail when you can get distro prices. Usually the margins are very small there. That's not what this has ever been about, right? If you run a business, you're going to operate on very small margins. If you're going to invest, you're going to invest based on long time frames. It's not going to be 6, 3, 6, 9, 12 months. It's going to be 3, 5, 7, 10 years when you start seeing those massive gains. And so if you are looking to sell, I always have one clear piece of advice I always say is sell some, keep some. That's the best thing I can tell everyone is you're never going to catch the tops. You're never going to buy at the bottoms. And the best thing you can usually do is to sell some and keep some. Because, hold on, let me find this real quick. I got to turn my phone on silent. I also have to, I guess I have a Discord up or something. Yeah, I do. Close Discord. All right. Get all those beeps and boops and beeps and all the bots. I got to turn off the bots. Hold on a second. I did see, I wanted to take that super chat before it gets too far lost. All right. Tech Shinji. That was oddly super specific. Also very funny. Appreciate the super chat, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, when it comes to selling, guys, I'm always a fan of buy some, keep some, or sell some, keep some, because you're never going to sell at the tops. You don't know how far it's going to keep running. You're going to be upset either way, right? You're going to be upset if it keeps going and you sold. You're going to be upset if it comes back down or a reprint happens and you didn't sell. And so the best thing to do is you're going to be a little unhappy and a little happy at the same time, no matter what it does. It's always sell some, keep some, because here's one thing it does. When you sell some, it reduces your risk. Also, it reduces your dollar cost average in what you're holding. So then even if you're right and the price does come down, well, then the price that you're in the rest of your items at are so much lower than what you actually bought into them at, that even after a downturn, a restock, a reprint, you're still going to be up on your investment most 99% of the time if you do it right. so that kind of like Surging Sparks, right? Let's say you bought Surging Sparks 120, 130 a box. You sell it now at 200, realize gains, maybe 170 a box. Well, now you can take $50 a box, $40, $50 a box off of every box. So if you sold half, you bought it 120, 130, you sold it once, you got 170, 180 after selling and shipping fees and all that. Now you got 40 to 50 bucks per box you take off of your dollar cost basis, right? So now you're in every one of those boxes for like $70 to $80. Guys, I don't care how many times they reprint or restock that set, it's not going to $70 or $80, right? And so that's a way to protect yourself against restocks, reprints, a way to lock in profits, a way to reduce your risk, and a way to get some capital out to use for something else, or maybe hold it and wait for the reprint or restock to come, and you can buy in then. So that's always going to be my advice to everyone thinking about selling or buying. No, I'm not going to give direct selling and buying advice. I'm not going to say sell this product now, buy this product now. I'm not going to do all that. If you want to venture into the Facebook, Instagram, Discord world, you can. The only issue there is a lot of those people know what full price market price is. They usually want 10% or so off of eBay or TCG player prices, meaning you're going to get the same exact price from them as you are on there. Maybe if you can get 10% and friends and family payment or something like that, then you're going to maybe beat eBay or TCG player a little bit. But, you know, a lot of times the time it's going to take to try to make all these posts and get approved in all these different Facebook groups and through Instagram and Discord and, you know, deal with all these messages from all these different people, the time investment is usually not going to be worth it anyway. It's probably best to just put it on eBay, TCG player, get full market price. Don't deal with all the nonsense. You get an order, you ship it out. Everything, you know, eBay provides the shipping labels on there and you can pay right through there. It's just a nice ease transaction. If you do have something set up where you're able to get full price off of eBay, hey, go for it. But there's no like tricks. There's no like, you know, honey hole of places to sell or places that there's no tricks in this hobby. Like a lot of my videos I post and they'll say, you know, especially when I film downstairs, they'll say, Alex, where do you buy all these cases? Everywhere, you know, everywhere. And it's not like a cop-out answer. It's true. Like some I've bought on eBay, some I've bought on TCG Player, some I've bought on Hills Wholesale Gaming, some I've bought on other independent LGS websites, some I've got from a distribution program with Eli, some I've got from my own distributor. I literally get them everywhere. And I think people, they just want you to like give them like the answers to the test. Like, Alex, just tell me the exact spot where I can go buy these. I want to buy them. Like, I can't do that. There's always different deals. There's always different sellers wanting to get rid of things. There's always platforms that run discounts like TCG Player did. Sometimes things are at distributors. They're trying to, you know, blow things out. There's just always different options out there. And unfortunately, the answer is you have to always shop around. And so I understand that's like, you know, harder for people. They don't want to spend that much time. And hey, here's the thing. You don't need to spend that much time. You don't have to always get the bottom dollar. That's one thing that's very understated in this whole hobby is this whole getting the best price is so overblown. People will spend hours and hours of their day trying to find where they can get $5 off per box. And I'm thinking to myself all the time, what is it that you do in your personal life? Like, what kind of job do you have? What is your time worth to you? For me, I mean, I'm not trying to like, you know, talk down anyone. My time's worth a whole lot more than $5 or $10 an hour. I'm not going to go spend all this time shopping a million different sites and trying to get coupon codes and this and that to save 5, 10, 15 bucks a box. I'm just going to pay the freaking price. I'm going to buy in bulk. I'm going to try to negotiate a deal in bulk. I'm going to get them all. I'm going to put them away. And I'm not going to worry about it. Same thing when I sell. I'm not going to try to worry about all the beep, bop, boop, all the different like, you know, moves in the market that's happening. I'm going to, you know, assess the situation, see where the market's at, get an idea of what I think could happen in the next, you know, 6 months, year, 2 years, look at where else I could put my money. Do I even need the money? Do I have capital already? And then I make decisions on when I'm going to sell. And so, guys, the best advice I can give you is slow down, stop making rash decisions, make well thought out decisions, and you're going to make a lot less mistakes when it comes to this hobby. Don't just sell because price goes up, right? Don't just buy because price goes down. There's a lot of reasons why price can go up and price can go down. And it doesn't always mean if prices go down, they're going to shoot back up, or if prices go up, they're going to shoot back down. That doesn't always mean that. There's a lot of items that never come back down. There's a lot of items that have shot down and stayed there for years and years. And so getting a better overall, you know, view of the market, it comes with experience, but it comes with taking the time to actually like, you know, input all the information and come out with a well thought out answer to it instead of just like this, these knee-jerk reactions where I see in these Discord groups, people are like, what, it's for sale? Oh, send me the link. Okay, bye. Oh, what's going on? Oh, it went up? Okay, I'm gonna sell. Okay, well, list all my stuff here. Sell. It's just like, guys, you gotta chill out. This hobby is not that fast. It doesn't move that. I get it right now. It feels like that. But if you're moving that fast, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna have a bad time in the long run. I saw another super chat. Senpai never dies. What's up? Changing lives, bro. All the plays have been spot on. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, whenever I do talk about plays, I like to talk about things that I've put enough research into and I do feel strongly about. But sometimes, like right now, I don't feel very strongly about any play. I made a video yesterday about the PCETBs. I think buying PCETBs at retail price on Pokemon Center, if you can still find them near retail at $60, seems like a good play, right? It seems like we've had enough history now of a year and a half. It's showing that a very, even trend line up. It does seem like PCETBs with that stamp promo are good plays. And so, yeah, that's one of the plays I could see right now. But this idea that like I have all the answers or like I have all these plays I'm just not telling you about, I don't, right? I mean, the truth is, hey, Pokemon Wonder, what's up, man? Appreciate you gifting some memberships, dude. Pokemon Wonder, guys. Make sure to check out his channel if you have a chance. And make sure to thank Pokemon Wonder if you got a membership from him. And I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for supporting. This idea that like all these, big sellers and big businesses have all these like the secret info, secret plays, it's a lie. Their secret is volume. There's no secret in this hobby other than volume, right? Obviously some people can negotiate lower prices than others based on how much they buy or connections they have. But at the end of the day, we're all operating on small margins and just a lot of it, right? And also a lot of these businesses, they just take the risks, right? They do the same thing I do. They analyze their risk to reward. They know that from their experience, they know what cards, what Pokemon usually do well or what products do well. And they put their money where their mouth is and they move into things when no one else does, not because they have any information, because they truly believe it, right? So when people were buying in large amounts of Paradox Rift before the move, they truly believed in it. They didn't have information it was going to go up. How could you? But they believed in it, right? These card graders who are buying large amounts of this, they'll buy large amounts of, like right now, Crown's the Galarian Gallery, right? You'll see large amounts of spiking up because large amounts are being bought. Or when I made videos a couple months ago about the alt arts, when they were reaching their lows and stagnating, I was saying these are the plays. Like there are opportunities that open up, but they're not secrets, right? There's no secret prices. There's no secret opportunities. There's no secret products that, others have access to that you don't. You can do all the same things that everyone else can. And that's how you have so many people in this hobby rise up and become successful, is because the barrier to entry is so low. Guys, distribution is one barrier. That is the sealed product barrier. It's honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Sure, right now in these markets, there's free money to be had when new products come out and the stores, and you can realize immediate gains. Great. That's not the end all be all of this hobby, right? You can go do a million other things in this hobby that don't require anything, no gatekeeping, as long as you got, an internet connection. You can open up some social media, you can open up some online stores, you can list product, you can start buying and selling collections. You can do anything all these guys are doing. It's just you got to build up to doing large amounts of it like they did. Super chat from Lons the Master. What is up? Thanks so much for the super chat. Love your content. I know you don't care about Japanese TCG, but I have a PSA 10 Japanese Neolugia that's stuck at 850. Do you see a scenario where graded Japanese cards go up? Yeah, so that's one of those questions, man, that I appreciate you asking me. I wouldn't have anything to tell you on that. I don't follow the Japanese graded card market. Here's one thing I can tell you about Japanese graded cards. It's very widely known Japanese cards are printed at better quality, meaning there's much more PSA 10s than PSA 9s, whereas English, it's much harder to chase the PSA 10s. That's why you'll see English cards more expensive and the PSA 10 copies much more expensive because it's a harder chase. But it doesn't mean those other Japanese cards won't have value or they can't rise. It's just that's why it's harder for them to rise, is because the PSA 10 populations are usually much higher, and not just the populations, but the ease of getting that 10 is much easier. And so it's much easier to find a mint copy on the market that can get a 10 than it is for an English card. And so, I'm not a fan of investing in slabs, English or Japanese long-term. I'm a fan of investing in sealed product long-term. I'm a fan of making short-term plays with singles and slabs. So that's kind of my answer, man. Is I don't know, but as far as like long-term growth, slabs have not been the greatest for long-term growth when compared to sealed products. So that's what I would tell you there, dude. All right, I feel like I've said enough. I've rambled enough. It's almost 30 minutes. You guys got the point today. That's just kind of where I stand on everything. I think if people are just that angry, they probably need to go somewhere else, and spend their money elsewhere. You don't have to spend your money here. And I think anyone that's getting a little antsy, hey, it's never, you can definitely sell, right? Take some profits. I'm always a fan of keeping some, selling some. Just like you find the best place to buy, find the best place to sell. Are you in need of, quick liquidity? Well, TCG Player is probably going to be the quickest liquidity, or eBay, right? Are you a fan of just trying to get the absolute highest price? Well, list them on some Facebook groups, try to find some local pickups, or maybe Instagram or Discord groups, and try to find some friends and family and get as close to full market as you can, and go that route and try to get the most bang for your buck. Or if you don't want to do the work and you just want to realize the gains, there's a bunch of consignment services out there, right? There's Arizona TCG, there's other consignment services, there's Probe Scene if you want to send your sealed stuff. And so you can always take that route, guys. So there's always places you can go if you're wanting to get out of stuff. But make sure it's a well thought out reason, and you're not just like jumping because you saw some crazy piece of news or what people were talking about in Discord, or price goes up, so I got to sell, all those types of things. Just make sure you're making a decision for the right reasons. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Q&A portion of this. I'm scrolling all the way back up to the top, and I'm going to try to catch up as fast as I can. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Almost 430 people. Wow. In the middle of the day on Thursday. Truly appreciate all the support, guys. Thanks for showing up and hanging out. I will try to get everyone's questions in a timely manner. If I do skip your question, it's not on purpose. Just keep reposting it, and I will get it eventually. I promise you. Let's see. Glory Man United said, I'm new to all of this, man. I feel like I might be buying at the worst time, but I've always been a fan, and I believe long term. Yeah, so here's the thing, dude. This is one of the worst times to be a new collector or new buyer, because you don't have any products that are rising in value for you. You're not able to capitalize on any of your gains to offset some of the higher prices you're paying. So it does kind of suck. However, my best advice is stay away from the things that have spiked. All right. So anything that's like been rising steadily, like, I don't know, any boxes or cards that have risen steadily, right? 5, 10, 15%. Those are going to be more in line with like keeping, holding their value better. I would stay away from things that have doubled or 50% growth in the last like few weeks, a month. Those are the things that are likely going to give a lot of that back, and you'll find a better entry point. So just don't get wrapped up in the newest and hottest thing, and you'll be all right. Surging Spires will overtake Evolving Skies. No, no, that's not going to happen. How much is the overage charges for PSA 10 Lugia V Alt Art? I believe they might kick that up to a $25 tier, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like a $25 grade at that level, if I had to guess. This is such a great point. Collecting is a personal journey. If you're not having fun, you're in the wrong hobby. Dude, I say this all the time. If you're not having fun in this hobby right now, you gotta find a new hobby. Like, this is the most fun you could have in this Pokemon hobby. We're seeing all kinds of movement in all different areas of the market. I'm blessed that I'm able to open packs 2-3 times a week. By the way, everyone, I'm gonna shout out my pack breaks. Come back to the channel tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time. We are doing another rip and ship. I got so much inventory, I can't even barely move around it in this room anymore. So we got all the packs you could possibly want if you want to come open some packs, or just come hang out and watch some packs being open. It's always a great time. But God, I love being able to open packs all the time. It's so nice to see everyone's businesses growing, all the product moving and value, and all these. There's so much love for all the new product. Everyone's so excited for every release. Where back in the day, it wasn't like that. People were not excited for Scarlet Violet releases. And so, yeah, it's a fun time to be in the hobby, man. Fun times. Let's see. Gas was $5 a gallon in 2008 when minimum wage was $5.75. Now gas is $2.40 and minimum wage is $13. Wake up, people, and budget better, because times are good, he says. Wow. Coming at you guys. Oh, this is good. PK freed himself from Rattle's judgment. A judgmental attitude and is making bank now, feeling more successful and helping his wife and therefore family feel better. Yeah, man. Obviously, you guys know the history of me and PK. I wish him all the best. I know he's working for Dan. Wish Dan all the best as well. Friends with Dan. But I will speak to that point. Don't let anyone make you feel like any certain way about anything you're doing in this hobby, right? If someone's got a problem with it, that's their problem, right? I know a lot of people have issues with ripping ships and they want to call it all these different, evil words. But you know what, man? I enjoy it. The people that come to the streams enjoy it. I would say 90% of the customers that I have in those ripping ships are all repeat customers. They keep coming back. They keep having a good time. Mystery packs. I don't do mystery packs, but PokeRev does, PokeVault, and Danny Phantom and everyone out there. Everyone always wants to come out. Every time a new one's released, everyone comes out with the big, the hate mob and all the pitchforks and torches. But guess what? They always sell out for all those guys, and all the people that buy them love them. And some are even scalped for higher prices on eBay, and then they sell there because people want them so bad. So there's obviously huge amounts of demand and huge love for the products. Like, grading cards. Grading cards always gets a bad rap because, oh man, you're just like, overcharging people because you put it in plastic and the card shouldn't be worth that much. And someone's always going to have an issue with every single thing you do in this hobby. Don't let the haters get to you, right? If people are enjoying it and you got customers and everyone's having a good time, you know what? The problem isn't with you, it's with them. So good for PK, good for Dan. I'm happy their business is good. If other people have a problem with it, let them have a problem with it. That's all I got to say about it. Question: thoughts on grading companies with the big three AI grading services for the future as it guarantees a 10? Tag grading services just sold first edition Charizard for $150,000. I've said it before, guys. I'm gonna stick with PSA until probably forever. The thing people don't talk about, all right? See, Joseph, the issue people have in this hobby is they don't think about the business side of things. They just think about the collector side of things. And so as collectors, they're thinking, oh, this is great. It's going to be AI. It's going to be, more decisive, and it's going to be easier to replicate. And so that's going to be a great grading system. Here's the thing. And you'll hear this if you listen to Shark Tank or listen to private equity or money. The worst thing, the hardest thing you can do in business is have to educate your audience, your customers on your product, right? If you have to go through the process of convincing people why they should use your service and it's not an organic demand, you're probably not going to have a very long, successful career, or you're going to be one of the outliers that do it very successfully and that they get the right marketing behind it and they're able to push it forward. But the odds are a lot of these other, startup grading companies are not going to be able to take down the behemoth. The problem is too much of the hobby, including myself, still value and regard PSA as the gold standard. It is what the majority of collectors want to have in their collection. It's what the majority of buyers want, and that can be shown if you look at all the sold inventory of every card. And so you not just have to prove that your service is better for whatever reason. You have to re-educate and change the mind of the majority of the entire market who all have all PSA slabs in their collections already, and they've been using them for years, and that's what everyone transacts in and all this stuff. And I just think that's a much bigger pill to swallow than most people understand. And for that reason, that's why I said CGC wasn't a good option. That's why I've always been behind PSA. And it's not because I have a large PSA collection. You guys know me. I don't have many slabs at all. The majority of all my investment is in sealed product. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't care. I'm just telling you, it's very unlikely another company is going to change the minds of the entire market as a whole and get people to want their slabs over PSA, no matter what reasons they can give why it's better. That's my take on it. Trying to find some more questions, guys. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Andre, would you mind talking about the quantity of Surging Sparks boxes in Player TCG? I don't know what that is, Andre. Player TCG, I don't know what that is. I'll pay attention to the chat if you want to like cue me in the chat. I'm not sure what you're asking. Sorry, man. Rossonery, are you interested in buying people's collections 85%? Yeah, so I pay a different amount for collections. It depends on what it is, anywhere from 70 up to 90%, depending on what you have and how much I want it. I will say I have a lot of inventory right now, but I'm still always buying depending on what it is. Definitely always Sun and Moon XY era stuff, Sword and Shield era stuff I'm buying still, some stuff, and then a lot of Scarlet Violet I'm pretty stocked up on, but I'm always interested to hear what you have, and I'll make an offer. But yeah, I mean, feel free to reach out, nostalgianomics@gmail.com. All right. You see, this is one of those questions, Tim Tam, that I was talking about earlier. Where are the best place to buy product? Anywhere and everywhere. Yeah, Collector's Cash is a good company. There's Sales Wholesale Gaming. There's Game Nerds. There's Forge and Fire. There's Smoke and Mirrors. Obviously eBay, TCG Player. Like, it's literally anywhere and everywhere. Like, again, there's no treasure trove of the best place to buy. It's whoever's got the best prices in any given day. I'm excited for prices to plummet and watch all the investors fire sell. Well, hey, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to correct you right there. The investors don't fire sell. I don't fire sell, right? I buy more in those times. All of the fly by night flavor of the week hobbyists who were pretend investors and were pretend content creators and all that, they're usually the ones that get washed out in those markets. I'm not one of those people, and I don't think any real investor is. But to fire sell back to collectors, people will say the hobby is dying, prices will correct. Yeah, I mean, I'll be buying too. I'm gonna try and snag them out of the hands of everybody before the collectors get them, and then I'll hold them when they go even higher in the future, and all the collectors will complain about it, and they'll still buy from me. So yeah, man. I mean, that's again, it's one of those things right there. It's just like everyone always want everything to collapse and someone to get hurt. Someone's always got to get hurt, right? Prices got to collapse so this person gets hurt. Prices go up so these people get hurt. It's always about someone like, footing the bill. It's kind of crazy why this hobby has to be like that. But hey, more power to y'all, guys. More power to you. How soon do I think the downturn is coming? Man, not anytime soon. Like, I think nowhere near. I think we got 6 months, a year plus, in my opinion. Hidden Fates. Do you see ETBs and tins steadily going up in price, or do you think it's worth selling now and reinvesting in other sets? They have been going up in price. They have been rising in price recently. It's just one of those things, man. Like, are there better places to put your money? Yeah. Do I think Hidden Fates is going to be more expensive in the future? Yeah. And so it just it's always that. There's no right answer. I couldn't. If I knew all the best places to put my money in the hobby, then I'd, be a multimillionaire. Like, I'd be, I have riches beyond riches if I always knew the best places. But that's why this hobby, it's fun. You have to always constantly try to predict where things are going to go. You never know. Hidden Fates could have some weird amount of popularity. I'll return to it, and it could jump up to $300 in ETB again within a matter of a month or two. I mean, that's how demand in this hobby works. It moves things so quickly. So it's just impossible to make those predictions, dude. I'm sorry. Investing in the market is no different than running a business. There will always be top 10, 20% of people who are disciplined, don't need money for vet bills, manage inventory, and money as well. 100%. 100%. The real question is, what is the shipping hack? Shipping is so expensive. No shipping hack either. You can use like ShipStation, Pirate Ship, Shippo, one of those shipping services. That's the only shipping hack that is out there, is use one of those discount shipping services. Buy boxes in bulk. I believe I buy from the Boxery on eBay. They're pretty cheap. Buy shipping materials in bulk. And, it's all you can really do. There's no secrets. At least I don't know them if there are. At least I don't know them if there are secrets. Hey, Nomics, is it beneficial from a tax perspective to create a business LLC for buying and selling? Yes. Initial inventory losses versus capital gains seems like may not be winning in the end. Yes, 100%. 100%. Yeah, talk to someone about creating a business, and then also talk about cash basis accounting. Those are the two things that will help you immensely in this hobby for sure. Also getting a reseller permit so you're not paying sales tax on the products that you're buying to eventually resell down the road. You don't want to be paying sales tax. All right, how about a no reprint and not a reprint scenario? What are the chances we are seeing the last reprint of 151 with the last box of restock in Walmart? Man, again, here. Where is it? Hold on. Let me get it. The 8-ball. We got the 8-ball. All right, D-Flip. Will the 151 box be the last reprint of 151? What is it, 8-ball? Come on. Very doubtful. Ooh. It does. The 8-ball thinks we're going to see more 151 after that, so be careful. The 8-ball has spoken. 8-ball has spoken, my man. Man, I'm sorry, guys. So, like any UK, Australia, Japanese, like other product questions, other market questions, I can't answer. I don't have any knowledge of it. I don't pay attention to other markets and how they operate. Other markets have different distributors, different supply, different price points. They have different demand, so the prices can be way off. And so I can't give any information on all that stuff. So I do apologize about that one. Glad you caught the stream, man. Appreciate you. Did I take this one already? I did. We talked about Lugia. All right. I appreciate you once again, though, for the super chat. I couldn't remember if I took that one or not. Do you think the lack of supply of Surging Sparks can be attributed to a boatload of Prismatic Evolutions sitting in storage right now? No, guys. I truly think there is so much demand right now that the product is getting eaten up as fast as they can print it. I don't think there's storehouses full of at Pokemon or distributors of massive amounts of product they're holding back. Here's what I've been told by people that have distributors and my distributor, right? Is we have more stores than ever wanting Pokemon product. People that sell sports mainly that haven't ordered Pokemon in a year, 2 years, right? People that are Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh stores or sell other card games or, whatever it may be that have not ordered Pokemon product in years, but they still have good spend with the distribution companies because they order all the other products. Maybe they're big stores in other industries. They are all now ordering the Pokemon sets, meaning they are having to spread out the allocations so thin now so that everyone can get them because they're having to keep all of their customers happy, all of their stores happy. And this is just creating such a small amount of supply for a lot of the larger stores and larger sellers that used to get a lot more, which they sell out quicker, and then the products just get eaten. It's getting eaten up. The demand's higher than ever. I don't think people wrap their heads around the amount of demand in this hobby, right? I think everyone focuses way too much on supply. I've always thought that. Everyone thinks that like all this stuff is endless. It's all overprinted. It's just mass-produced scarcity. Guys, it would be like this. It would be like you sitting there making shipping boxes all day long, 10 hours a day. You're just sitting there folding shipping boxes, right? Just folding shipping boxes. And then I say, hey, by the way, I just got in 10,000 orders. And you're like, wait, I've only folded 8,500 shipping boxes today. Like, well, you don't have enough. Come back tomorrow. We got to catch up. That's how it is right now, right? They are selling more cards than they can even print right now. That's all it is. And there'll come a time when that demand slows down, but it's not anytime soon. And so Surging Sparks is going to be, in low supply. Prismatic's going to be in low supply. SV9 will probably be in low supply because, one, guys, I talked about it in a video. You can go watch my channel where I talk about it. Anyone that is not valuing the fact that rip and shippers have completely changed this hobby, their heads are buried in the sand. They're lying to themselves. The amount of packs that are being opened eclipses any time in Pokemon's history. Anytime. I don't care. During the pandemic, Logan Paul craziness, I don't care. More packs are being opened right now in this hobby than ever before. Meaning, even if they're printing more than ever, way more is getting opened. I believe there's going to be less sealed product left of these sets now than there are older sets. Because the sets now are getting opened in mass where the older sets didn't, right? So yeah, people are still investing. People are still sitting on sealed, but it's being opened more and more. And so people that are sitting on sealed, they're starting to have to go in and say, okay, I guess I will sell it because the prices are rising so fast. These streamers are willing to pay me top dollar for this item. Okay, here it is. And the streamers, boom, open it one night, open all this product, $5,000, $10,000 in boxes. Okay, it's all gone. I need more. I'm one of those people. I get it. I'm telling you, this is the truth, right? Guys, I'm still not 100%. I'm feeling a lot better today, I will say. But I did a stream yesterday or on Tuesday where I only streamed for like 4 hours. I did a short stream. Okay, I ended buying at 9:20. I went live at 7. I put an end to the buying at 9:20. I shut down the store. I shut down the inventory. Okay. We sold almost $5,000 in packs in just that 2 hour and 20-minute period. Okay. That's how much product is being opened per day. That's one person. That's me. And I know everyone say, Alex, I'm a small streamer. I promise you I'm a small streamer. I know the numbers. The bigger guys do. I'm a small streamer. Okay. The other guys, they have streamers working for them. They have shipping departments. Trust me, they are eclipsing my numbers by, 3x, 5x, 10x sometimes. Okay. And so, and then you have all the smaller streamers too. You have all of us opening all these packs every single day, deleting thousands and thousands and thousands of packs from the market every single day. Guys, eventually it's gone. Eventually there is no more, and that's why prices go up. And there's nothing that's going to stop that. Pokemon can print and print and print, but eventually time goes on. Sets become 2 and 3 years old. They don't get printed anymore. They're still getting opened, and they're going to rise in value. It's just the way this market works. Question, how do you beat all the bots to all the online pre-sales for Prismatic? They literally buy everything out in seconds. I do not know the answer to that. It is very hard right now. There will come a time where that will end, when all the bots and all the people buy up all the boxes of a certain set, and that set doesn't perform well. We've seen it happen with Steam Siege. We've seen it happen with Crimson Invasion. We've seen it happen with Battle Styles and Chilling. We've seen it happen before in the past. It will happen where people will bite off way more than they can chew, and the demand's going to fall, and no one's going to want it, and people are going to be trying to dump it at $90 or something, and they're going to lose money, and all those people are going to lose large amounts of money, and they're no longer going to bot, and they're going to say, oh, well, this is over. This hobby sucks now, and they're all going to leave, and that's when you'll have a chance to buy any product you want again, although that's going to be in the future. It's not right now. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you. Hey, Alex, love the videos. Had a question about your video from a month ago where you said you don't like to have items that reach a high market price because of liquidity and smaller group of buyers, specifically with thousands of dollars in vintage slabs. But does that also relate to Evolving Skies booster boxes? Yeah, so here's the thing. Everything's based on feel with me. That's why when people always ask these things like, Alex, how many years do you hold? What percentage gain do you look for? I don't believe in any of that crazy metrics. Everything's based on feel, because Evolving Skies getting to $400 a box is completely different from Sword and Shield base hitting $400 a box, right? I could argue Sword and Shield base would be a sell, and Evolving Skies is a hold or a buy. And so, no, every set, good question, but yeah, every set's different. When you do get in the thousands, it does become usually less liquid, but it doesn't mean the growth is going to stop. The growth can actually pick up at certain price points, because after you hit certain glass ceilings, people are just more likely to start buying in and continue to run the price up, and it gets more and more scarce. But yeah, it can get more illiquid, but it's just kind of how you have to maneuver your, portfolio. How much you want really liquid stuff, how much you want in high-end long-term growth stuff that's going to be more tried and true, maybe a little harder to get rid of when the time comes. And so there's no perfect method, there's no perfect portfolio. But yeah, some boxes I do get rid of when they hit that, $500 to $1,000 mark. Others I'll hold. Evolving Skies, I'm holding. Short term, yeah, like really 2 years or less. 2 years or less is probably short term in my book. I already jumped in One Piece, man. I did very well in One Piece, made tens of thousands of dollars in literally like less than a year's time. And so, yeah, I mean, I sold out of blue bottom boxes for $1,000 a piece. I sold out of Paramount War for like $500 a piece. I sold near the tops of a lot of those sets, the first 4 sets. Will I get back in? Unclear. All my money and attention is still in Pokemon. There's too many opportunities in Pokemon right now that is, taking all my money. If I ever find a time, and maybe time is coming soon where there's just not enough Pokemon opportunities, then maybe I'll go to other games like One Piece. But there's just no reason to right now, and Pokemon's so lucrative. So, but hey, congrats to everyone that is doing well in One Piece, though. I'm going to try to get down to some of these. I'm going to scroll down to these super chats because I don't want to leave the super chat sitting. Guys, if I missed your questions or comments, resend them. Because I'm going to scroll past a bit of people right now because I need to catch up to chat. I'm like 30 minutes behind on chat. So here we go. We've got Drummer Dude. What's up, Drummer Dude? What Pokemon games did you grow up playing? What's your favorite? What's your favorite Pokemon? What's your favorite region? I'm boring, man. I grew up with Gen 1, 1999. My favorite game's Crystal, so Gen 2, but it's got Gen 1 in it too. You know how that works. You can go back and play the old gyms, which I like. So I like Crystal. I grew up playing all of them. Red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, ruby, sapphire, fire, red, leaf, green, all that good stuff. Pokemon trading card game, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2, Pokemon Coliseum for the GameCube. I played them all. I played everything growing up Pokemon. Favorite Pokemon's probably got to be Mewtwo. If I had to pick one, probably Mewtwo. Favorite region? I mean, I'll just go with Kanto, man. I don't really, not too worried about the region stuff. I mean, I like Pokemon in every era, but probably Kanto just because it's got the original 151. Appreciate the answer, the question, Drummer Dude. And I did see another super chat down here somewhere. Let me go find it. Oh wait, we got Billy. Billy, member for 1 month. Thank you, Billy. And Billy also said rip and shippers are basically crypto's version of tokenomics and burn rate OP. Surging Sparks could be a $300 box before prismatic release. Yeah, man. I appreciate the super chat, dude. I still hold true to what I said. Here's the thing people don't understand. People are getting antsy right now because Surging Sparks hasn't moved a lot in the last week or two. What they don't realize is I've said this a million times. This hobby doesn't just move linear, right? So it's stagnated at one of those glass ceilings like I talk about. $200 is a pretty big glass ceiling for a lot of new sets. People get a little antsy. They start to pull back a little bit when things get there. But once a lot of the kind of weak hands, like the paper hands, they're going to sell out of a lot of the product, take their quick gains, their free tendies. You're going to start to see a lot of the sellers sell out, and the prices are going to start to rise, and it's going to get to 215, 220, 225. And once that happens, once it starts to break a bit higher, that 210, 215 range, you're going to have another group, right? So it kind of went through that big run. It's stagnating right now. It's going to go through another big run once that starts happening. And I believe you're going to see it go from 220, 225 up to 250, 275 very quickly. You're going to see that secondary panic of people wanting to buy and realize, oh crap, this isn't coming back down. We're not being saved by a massive reprint restock for at least right now. And it's going to go on another run, especially as more and more rip and shippers do need the packs, and all the ETBs, booster bundles, everything else continues to get more and more expensive. People are going to run back to the boxes, and it is going to send them flying. So anyone thinking the run of surging's over, I'm excited to make a video about it in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, because I believe everyone's going to be wrong. That's my take on it. I wonder when we're going to see Sword and Shield product out in the wild. Stop seeing it. I still see Silver Tempest and Lost Origin ETBs out in the wild, like Walmart and Target for $50. $50 though is pretty expensive, right? Like, let's see. There's only 8 packs in those products. So $50 divided by 8. I mean, that's $6.25 a pack. That's pretty expensive, man. I mean, and they don't have promo cards like Scarlet Violet era does. So $6.25 a pack is pretty expensive for Silver Tempest and Lost Origin, right? And so, yeah, I mean, you'll probably see that stuff in the wild until it becomes more financially, attractive than just buying other products or loose packs or whatever for breakers. So that would, because again, guys, unfortunately, ETBs, all these other, ancillary products, they're not as collectible as booster boxes and PC ETBs and UPCs and things like that. And they're mostly going to be valued off the pack value. They're not going to have much of a sealed value or much of a collectability value. And so they're really going to run based on pack price. So I think we'll see them for a little while longer. I will say I have had more people reach out to me with Sword and Shield packs lately than I have in a long time. I mean, I'm sitting over here. I probably have, 3,000 packs of Sword and Shield era product right now that I'm sitting on because I've just bought out so many collections. I've put it on kind of a freeze. I told people, hey, listen, I'm not buying any more Silver Tempest or Astral or Brilliant Stars right now. I have way too much of it. I got them at good prices. I'm fine to have the inventory. It'll sell through. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's because of Christmas time, the end of the year. I don't know what it is. That's definitely been a big push right now to sell Sword and Shield era packs. I've been seeing a lot more of that than Scarlet Violet era packs, which is kind of strange to me. Kind of strange. I will say that. Because it's weird because we're seeing Sword and Shield products start to rise in value. The cards are going up, and everyone's wanting to dump the packs. So and the packs aren't really rising yet. They're cheap. I don't know. This hobby's weird sometimes. Oh, it's an easy answer for me, Alex. Booster boxes all the way. Sealed booster boxes, if you go back and look at, the long-term charts of them, they have very little downturns after the first 2 to 3 years and all the reprints or restocks are over. They have times where they sometimes go down maybe 5-10%. Sometimes they go stagnant, but for the most part, the chart is always up and to the right. And that's the normal movement of the Sword and Shield, of the sealed booster boxes. With PSA 10 chase cards, oh my gosh, they're up, they're down, they're sideways, they're everything in between. They're very, very risky investments, very speculative, all singles and PSA slabs. You got to have a tough stomach. That's why I throw everything in sealed, because sealed is much more easy to predict. Is $350 a good price for a prismatic booster bundle display? What is that? 35 a piece? Divided by 6 packs? Yeah. Seems like a good deal to me, Nick. Seems like a pretty good deal for what it looks like the packs are going to cost at release. At what price does a booster box become difficult to sell due to being too expensive? I mean, I wouldn't say difficult to sell, but definitely less liquid to sell large quantities when it gets up in the higher hundreds and into the low thousands. So I would say, 600 to up to 1,000 plus. It starts getting a little less liquid. It's harder to move. Like if you're trying to move, 50 or 100 boxes, it gets a little harder. But if you're just trying to sell like 1, 5, 10 boxes, you can still get rid of them pretty quickly. Especially if it's a sought after set with sought after cards, especially with the streaming culture, and if it's a set that's good to be opened, shouldn't have that big of a deal. Yeah, I mean 10,000 a case. What you're gonna run into when you start getting up to those higher dollar amounts, you're gonna run into a lot of people that want to do trades. You're gonna run into a lot of trades because a lot less people want to fork over that amount of cash. So you'll be dealing with a lot of trades in that range. So, there always comes that time where it's finding the right buyer, or do I break up the case and sell individual boxes? If you hold that long, you may have to make that decision. But yeah, so you'll either have to break it down, sell individual boxes, just find the right buyer, the person with one of the whales out there. Hit up Pokey Plumber, he's a whale, and maybe make a trade, half cash, those types of things. I mean, if you guys I'll give you here. If you guys want a little sauce, I'll spill a little sauce for you. Here is a good way of doing it. All right. If you guys want a good way, if you want to get out a product and it's hard to find the cash, all right, find someone with very liquid, all right, and very established market price high-end slabs that are willing to trade for your sealed product, okay? The high-end slabs, all of the consignment services charge very little fees, like 2-3% fees, right? Very small fees. You can trade the sealed product for the slabs. That way that person doesn't have to pay you any cash. They're able to get out of their slabs. They are able to get the sealed product they want. Send those slabs in to the consignment service. Have them sell your slabs. You're going to get full, because remember, only slabs that have a very established market price. The last, 50 sales have all sold within a very small range. You know it's going to sell. You know you're going to get your full price. Go ahead, send it to them. Have them sell it for you. Pay very little fees. You're going to get basically full price for what you wanted, and that's a good way to get out of things. So there you go. I gave you a little secret there. And another thing that does, which I like, it keeps it all off the books. It keeps it all off of off of the public markets. So that way the public doesn't know that you just sold 50 cases, right? The public has no idea, right? Because I can go make a private sale for 50 cases, right? Or 50 boxes, whatever level you're at, or high-end boxes that are worth, 10, 20 grand. And I can sell that to somebody. They can give me a bunch of high-end slabs. I can throw those through consignment services. Nobody knows a bunch of boxes and cases were just sold or traded hands. I'm going to be able to get most all my money, most all full price for them. I wipe my hands clean. Very, very simple process. So that's always something you can do. What's a reasonable amount to buy? Crystal Gecko, it's going to be different for everyone. Like some people will tell you 100 cases. That could be reasonable for them. If you ask me, I could say, I don't know, 25 cases, right? You could ask someone else, they'll say, ooh, I buy 2 boxes. That's it. Like, it just depends. It's an impossible question to ask. It just depends on your income level, your risk tolerance, how much you want to put in this hobby, how much you believe in it, all those things, right? It's an impossible question to answer. Sorry. Question: best booster box case to dump some XRP profits into and why? That's an 8-ball question, man. I don't give any direct advice on investing or what products. I don't do that. Sorry, dude. If I knew the exact product to buy right now, I'd buy it. I don't know. It's why I buy a little of everything. Just passing through. Why did you steal Rudy's folks? Didn't know Rudy had a trademark on folks. I didn't know that either. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna call the patent offices. I'm gonna actually look into it because I don't believe anyone has a trademark on the word folks. But yeah, very strange that people say that. Again, there's just a lot of unhappy people in the world, have people in the hobby. They got to find some way to try to drag you down. And just passing through, hey, thanks for your $1.99. That's all I have to say to you. What do you think of Pokemon Company releasing too many sets in a short term? 3 sets a year max. And what if TPC would release limited 1 of 100 cards like Topps, one of a kind? Love the content. Just Knicks. I would love if they went to serialized cards. There's a couple issues they would have to get around. Obviously, they couldn't reprint the item, which I would love. I would love to not have to talk about stupid reprints for one set, just one day, because people are so enamored with reprints. Yeah, I mean, they would have to either do what Magic does and have like a collection box to where, oh, just this product isn't going to get reprinted and you can pull the serialized cards in this. But it'd be very hard because Pokemon Company, they like their products to be very cheap and they like to keep their cards as cheap as possible so that the players, the game piece army can get their cards cheap. And so that's the only issue with them doing serialized is it would run the product up to such a high expense and high dollar amount that, you know, the players wouldn't be able to get their hands on the cards. So they would have to do it in a form of either like a non-playable set where the cards are like not tournament legal, or like a collection box or a certain product where only that product had the serialized cards, and that product would just get ran to the moon and all the regular booster boxes would all be like cheap for the players. So I would love if they did something like that. It'd be great for them to like do something for the collectors, which I don't think they do enough of. But as far as like too many sets in a year, I feel you, man, but doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon, I don't think. They love pumping out the sets. It would be nice to enjoy a set for more than like a week before people start talking about the new set. I mean, it's crazy how fast this hobby moves. The Crown Zenith market. The Sam's Club boxes are sold out. The market then bounced back already, $47.50 or $4.75 to $5 a pack. What do you think? I think Crown Zenith is one of the best sets ever created, and it's going to rise over time. That's what I think. Yeah, Alex, I mean, it could be a good time to take some profits on the PC ETBs. Again, I'm always going to be the person to say, I would always sell some, keep some. You never know how far they could run. From when you started selling, how long would you say it took before you were doing the kind of volume you talk about? Well, I'm a little different, right? I'm a content creator, right? And so a lot of my sales are in the form of my rip and chips. And then also my graded cards, but it's more in the form of rip and chips now. So, and then obviously a lot of my income comes from content and things that are related to content. So I'm a little different. I'm a little more of an outlier. So, I mean, you know, PokeNE's talked about it. PokeNE built his business within the course of like, 3 or 4 years. Other people have, I think the first year is going to be built on you setting up, figuring out the ropes, right? Finding good places to buy it, the best options and the best strategies to sell, and just trying to get your ducks in a row and get, find suppliers for shipping materials and, building your feedback and all that. And the second year, if you keep rolling your profits back in the business, I think your inventory will have grown. You'll kind of know what you're doing, and you can start taking more risk and higher volumes. And the second year could be really a big growth year. I think by year 3, honestly, halfway through year 2 into year 3, you should probably be ready to start taking it really serious and going hard if you've had success up till that point. That's probably the timeline I would think about, unless you want to take on more risk and do it faster. But I'm not really a fan of taking on risk and credit card debt and all that, so I don't know. Other people have different answers on that. Joshua, what's up? Following a little over a year, I've watched every video and applied everything you've said. When you first started, did you have this it's too good to be true feeling? Because to be honest, I've made a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah. So I just always believed in it. I believe in the fact that the world as a whole wants this product. And there is a finite amount, no matter what that finite amount is, whether it be 1 million boxes, 2 million boxes, however much Pokemon prints, eventually that finite amount will run out. And it may be in 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. But the more and more a product gets open and disappears in collections or gets lost or whatever it may be, I've always had just a pretty strong feeling about sealed product. And so, no, I've never had this too good to be true, because as long as there's still people out there that don't believe in it and get angry about it and, sell it off every time something goes off, there's people selling off their Twilight or their Paldea or their Surging Sparks. There's their Silver Tempest, their Evolving Skies. As long as there's still people that are dumping their product, it gives me hope. And I know that it's going to keep going, because until everyone believes the same way and holds their product and believes it's all going to keep going up, then I'm feeling pretty good. So there's still too much disbelief and too much fear that keeps people selling, which is why I think people like us that hold will always do well. So no, man, I've never had that feeling. Sorry. I wish I could relate a little more. I can't. Van Yuckum, I don't get the stamp market. I don't care about the stamped market. I think it's all stupid. If you want my honest opinion, I don't care if it's a World stamp, a Staff stamp, a Pokemon Center stamp, a 7-Eleven stamp, whatever other stupid stamps are out there, GameStop, Best Buy. I don't give a crap if a certain stamp is on my card. However, the market does care, right? And because the market cares, I think they'll continue to do well. And so, I think the future of stamp cards are going to be great. You'll never see me buying any of them because I think it's all just like a sham. But congrats everyone that does well with stamped cards. What consignment service do I recommend? I'm sponsored by Arizona TCG, so that's why I recommend. Are there cheaper consignment services out there by a percent or two? Sure. But I truly believe this is why I sponsor them, or they sponsor me and I promote them, is because I believe their platform is the easiest to use and it's the most sophisticated. I mean, it's so easy to follow your cards. They have that little calculator which tracks, and you can see how much your cards would be what they would sell for, how much you would get back, so you know exactly what to expect beforehand. I just think it's the best run company. There are cheaper consignment services out there. I'm not talking down anybody, but I think Arizona TCG's platform is the best one. So that's why I like Arizona TCG. We got a super chat. BB Tom. Really appreciate the $9.99, dude. Thank you. I'm thinking buying a bunch of Surging Sparks Pikachu SIRs. Plan is to get them graded. Is this too risky? Do you think it will drop? I'm thinking of getting a grading place. So obviously, anytime you're grading newer sets, it's risky. The market can change on a dime. Honestly, I think if you were able to get the Pikachus and rush grade them, you can't send them at bulk. You need to get them graded very quickly. As long as you're able to get the Pikachus and get them back by early January, I think you could probably come out okay, because if we do get reprints in February, like some have talked about, or after, I think that will hurt the price of the card and the product. But if you can get them to market before that, I think you can cash in, because I do think if the boxes keep rising, the cards might continue to rebound and keep rising as well. And so I do think you can do well with those, but it is a race against the clock and it is risky. But in my opinion, if you can get them done quickly, I think you could do well. That's my opinion on it. Good luck on that. There is no guarantees, though. Don't take it. Anything I said is a guarantee. Have you considered a soundboard button so you could maybe take water breaks or a restroom break when people ask about reprints? That's a good idea. That is a great idea. Anthony, what's up, dude? Give them a folks. Well, where do you see yourself selling your cases when you start to liquidate in 15 years plus, if you could be detailed? Probably private deals, man. I'll just sell it to private people I know in the community at this point. It's kind of why it makes sense to build a network. Also, if I'm still streaming, I'll probably just run the boxes through my pack breaks. That'll be another avenue I take. Maybe going to local shows, or going to a Collecticon. Go to a Collecticon, sell them there. You're going to get your largest buyer pool there, other than like eBay or TCG Player, and you can sell them there. It'll probably just be a culmination of a bunch of those things. But I also sell cases as time goes on. So like I said, when they get to certain price points, or I feel like, the liquidity is going to be an issue, I'll start to move cases little by little in certain markets. And so, I won't have all the cases that I have right now in 15 years. And in 15 years, I'll have a lot of new cases, right? And so I'm always just kind of shuffling through my product. But kind of like buying, man, anywhere and everywhere. Anywhere and everywhere I can move some, I'm going to move some. I don't have an answer to say, hey, I'm going to call this one guy and he's going to write me a big, 6-figure, 7-figure check, and I'm going to send him all my cases. I just don't have anything like that. It'll be, a little here, a little there type thing, probably. I'm 70% up in 13 months because of this channel. It's awesome. Bro, Jimbo, let's give Jimbo congrats, man. Because you know what he did? He took action. Anybody can watch my channel, other channels, or hear about Pokemon, or see the charts and the data. You took action, man. Congratulations. Alex, do you have an emotional attachment to any single slabs you own? No, I don't. I just don't. There's some that I won't sell, like right here. That Star Me V card, that was given to me by someone, by a follower, by a subscriber. So I won't sell that. I have a Team Up blister pack in the other room that was given to me by a subscriber. I won't sell that. I won't sell gifts. Right? I have the uncut sheet of Otherverse that Sam, the creator of Otherverse TCG, gave me. I'm not going to sell that, right? Like, if it's not a gift and someone didn't give it to me, I really don't have much other attachment to things. I just don't have attachment to things like that. If the price is right, I'll always sell it. And anyone who says things like that, I think unless they're just like crazy wealthy, I think most people are liars. Like people say, there's no price I would sell this card for. All right, I'll write you a check for $1 billion. Will you sell it? Anyone in their right mind is going to sell that card unless, again, they're already a billionaire. They already have like tens or hundreds of millions of dollars and they really just don't care about money. But there's always a price for things. And so for me, pretty much everything has a price. But the one thing I just don't do, I don't sell gifts. I don't think it's right. Hey, there's Otherverse right there. Alex, love what you're doing. Keep crushing it, dude. I didn't even see this comment before I just said that, and there you are. Speak of the devil and he appears, man. Sam, I hope everything's going great, dude. How funny. But yeah, like stuff like that, or so here, he also gave me a PSA 10 card from Otherverse. Like, I'm not going to sell those types of things. Like, when someone goes out of their way and they give you a gift, I don't think that's cool to sell, right? But like anything else is fair game for me. Anything else is fair game. I'll sell it. I may not sell at the price you want to pay for it. I may not sell at market price, but if you offer me enough money and I really want, I'll let it go, right? I'll let it go. Consignment companies don't pay the same eBay fees that you do. They have negotiated rates, so they pay less money for their sales. What would you recommend for people who want to invest large amounts in the hobby but don't have distro connection? Where can we pre-order? Hawk Lugia, what's up? I actually met up with Hawk Lugia in person to do a deal recently. So what's up to you, man? Yeah, so large amounts of money. Look, unfortunately, it's much harder in these kind of markets. Look, here's the thing, guys. Before this market started, 6 months ago, anyone could do this. Anyone could buy as much as they want. You didn't need a distributor. You could have got on eBay or TCG Player. You could have paid as much as people were paying at distributors for cases of Paradox Rift or Scarlet Violet Base or Paldea Evolved a year ago, right? It was always very easy to obtain as much product as you want. The problem is now that everyone wants it, it's much harder. So I would say just look for, wait for reprints, look for, stores wanting to blow things out, look for deals. Hawk Lugia, it's very hard to find large amounts of product right now unless you're willing to pay up at full market price. So I don't have a great answer for you in these kind of markets, dude. Once this market slows down and cools off, I'll have a million places to send you, and you can buy, 10, 20, 50 cases of products when nobody wants them. But when everyone wants them, it's much harder to do that, dude. Sorry, dude. Should I focus on booster boxes since PC ETBs are double price now? I have some regular ETBs, but I know they won't rise in price the same way PC ETBs will. Yeah, man, I still like booster boxes the best. PC ETBs, they're a great kind of, on the side of your investment, but it's so hard to get a good enough quantity of those to actually build up a large amount of investment. It's so much easier to find quantity of booster boxes, and it's so much easier to move quantities of booster boxes. So for me, I still hold booster boxes as the gold standard, even though you can point to higher gains on PC ETBs. The liquidity in the long term, I believe, is going to be towards booster boxes. So yeah, I agree with that. I find it interesting you don't like stamp cards, considering they are kind of like form of serialization. I love Pokemon Center stamps. Are you including them in the opinion? Yeah, man, it's just I'm not a fan of forcing people to drive around to different places or log on to different sites and make orders just to get a stamp, right? I'm a fan of the serialized cards because that is that's rarity in the packs, right? I'm not a fan of forcing people to go buy from GameStop or buy from Best Buy, buy from 7-Eleven, buy from Pokemon Center, attend a World's event. That's stupid to me. I'm a fan of having a rarity assigned in a pack and having to rip the packs and actually have that randomization of pulling that card. The stamps aren't randomized. They're given out to anybody that wants to go through the trouble of going and buying from that location or buying from the Pokemon Center. It just, that doesn't get me, riled, or staff promos. So you own a store, so you get sent staff promos. So you went to a pre-release event, so you got pre-released. None of that. I don't know. That doesn't get me going the way that opening packs and having a serialized rarity in a pack does. If that clears it up for you. This is a great point from JB Collectibles and Customs. This means nothing. I bought a card for $1 and sold it for $1.70. I'm up 70%. Guys, this point cannot be overstated enough. So, not all percentage gains are created equal in this hobby. Not all investments or collections are created equal, right? If you and people, I'm going through this with people right now. They reach out to me with these large collections. And they want, what they'll say, hey, I heard you paid this guy 85 or 90%. Here's what I got. So 85%, 90%. And I'm just like, no, I paid that guy 90% because he had a box of XY Breakthrough and a box of, Sun and Moon Unbroken Bonds or Unified Minds, right? Those are very sought after sets that people want to open on streams that I can move very quickly. Then people will have these collection boxes or tins or 3-pack blisters, and I'm like, dude, 70%? And then they get all mad at me. Or like, they'll have a bunch of single cards or a bunch of bulk. It's like, dude, the percentages go down and down and down. Like, I don't want singles. I don't want slabs. I don't want, bulk. I don't want collection boxes or tins or blisters or any of that BS, right? Booster boxes, you will get top dollar from me, right? Loose, packs of like, these products that are coming out. Like if you find the Crown Zenith boxes or the 151 boxes in Costco and you're gonna sell them to me and break them down, or I'll break them down or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna pay for the pack price. But just being up a percentage because you see what a collection box is selling for at market, it doesn't mean you can get that, because one, they're gonna be really illiquid. Two, the shipping and the fees on those is gonna bring it way down. And being able to move large amounts of them at once, it's gonna take a very long time on the open market. And to sell to someone privately, I know myself and other people I know, they're not going to give you top dollar for them, which is why I urge people not to move into things that people are not going to want, not to buy all these crazy collection boxes and tins and blisters and all this junk. Buy booster boxes, right? If you want to buy some PCETBs, great, right? If you're going to move into single cards, get the cards people want, the top Pokemon, the popular species, the top hits in the sets. Those are going to be the liquid ones. People trying to buy like 100 copies of some random card that's like 20th in a set, you're going to have a very hard time moving that card. And so, yeah, that can't be stated enough. Be careful what you're moving into. Not all percentage gains are created equal. Watch your channel for a bit. I've recently retired from software development and decided to do something that's fun. Sean, congratulations first on retirement, and glad you're having fun in the hobby, man. That's awesome. I envy you, my man. Retirement sounds amazing. I hope you're enjoying it. Would you recommend buying a PSA 10 Ninetales illustration before it hits 300? I don't know, man. I think a lot of those illustrations, I would go to local card shows or local shops and try to find one that you can grade yourself and get a 10. I have a very hard time buying into cards that have that high of multiples when the actual card itself is like 15 or 20 bucks. So I don't know about that one. Here, Sean again says, as someone who's full-time coming from a traditional career, what would you recommend? YouTube, whatnot? I just got a distro connection, so sourcing isn't an issue. Interesting. YouTube is very hard to sell on without a following. The only reason I'm successful at it is I built a following. I continue to build a following with my content. If you're just trying to like sell product, not a good source. eBay, TCG Player, whatnot can be good. The actual, TikTok, the actual selling platforms where people are there to buy, because anywhere else you're going to need to build a following like YouTube or Twitch. Question, I have a complete set of XY booster boxes gotten in the last year. Would you hold due to scarcity or sell now and try to get another booster boxes? FYI, I don't need cash right now. I don't know, man. Me and Pokey Plumber had this conversation, and I don't have an answer for it. I just don't know. XY has moved up so much so quickly. I think there's a lot of room for growth in some boxes. I think some are probably going to stagnate at the prices they've reached. I'm sure there's other better investments out there, but I also don't think there's a huge amount of downside risk because of how scarce they are, and there could be some good upside potential left. It's such a hard decision, man. I can't make it for you. And if you only have one in every box, obviously you can't sell some and keep some. That's a rough one. That's a rough one, Andy. Sorry I couldn't help on that, dude. Guys, we've been going on an hour and a half. I have a pack break stream tonight. Make sure you guys come back to the channel, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to go ahead and end things here so I can rest up before that. So you can purchase packs at nostalgianomics.com if you want to. I'll take like 1 or 2 more and we'll end it here. Really appreciate all you guys showing up middle of the day on Thursday like this, hanging out with us. Means a lot for all the support. Here's one question. Name 2 or 3 Pokemon YouTubers to follow you think that give great knowledge in Pokemon investing. All right. Pokeani. Catch 'em all collectibles. There we go. Dan and Brian. Let's see. Last question. Who should it be? And if I didn't get your question, guys, I do apologize. I try to get to as many as I can. The chat just moves so fast. It's crazy. I will take this. Before I miss out, just want to say, let all the Timmies eat their heart out. Alex has been proving them wrong even more publicly after the pandemic. Absolutely. Good times in the hobby, man. Good times in the hobby. Let's see. One more question. It's hard to pick a last question. You want it to be a good one. All right, we'll take this one. Johnny Blinks. I have one. Are collecting Grandmaster sets every card and selling them a good investment? Not really, man. It's very hard to move master sets. You have to find, the problem. A lot of collectors, a lot of like set collectors and binder collectors, a lot of them like to put together the sets themselves. They either like to open all the packs themselves, or they just like to find them, in person or in the wild themselves. And it's almost like a journey, And so it's the actual market of people who just want to buy the set already mastered for them and just have it. It's a smaller market. And also, I feel like unless you're getting really good deals on all the cards, people are usually wanting to buy the full set at a discount, or they'll say things like, well, I can just go buy every card by itself and put it together cheaper than this. Why would I pay a premium? And it's just, I don't see the master set thing ever being the best way to go. It's more for a collector. It's less for like someone trying to do flips or invest or anything like that. So that's my take on that. That's gonna be the last one today, guys. We'll end with Joshua saying Dan, Brian, and Alex are the most humble in the hobby. Great, amazing people. There you go. And you have another one vouching for Dan and Brian as well. So you can check them out too. Guys, hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I'll keep pumping them out for you. Hope the content's been helping. Best of luck to everyone in this wild, crazy market. We'll be back here in a new one soon. We're out.